Understand this and get everything. Hi, I am your host, Sky Cheyenne, and welcome back once again to Rebuild Reality, where as always, we talk about who we really are, why we're here, and how all of this stuff works. Now, of course, when we're manifesting, I think most of us have heard that we need to live in the end. That's one of the most effective techniques, right? Which is a Neville Goddard technique. We need to live in the end. I'm there, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there, right? And also about the mirror principle. Understand that, okay, I'm in a mirror and things don't work the same here. But still, even though we understand these things, we understand so much about manifestation, we still keep slipping right back into that old mindset because 3D it's pretty convincing, right? So how do we stay there so that we finally can have our manifestations come to fruition? They can finally come to life so we can finally get what it is that we want. Well, by understanding these three things. First of all, that we are indeed seeing less than 1% of reality. In fact, 0.1% of reality if you're looking at things from a scientific perspective, because that's what they say, that humans are seeing less than 0.1% of reality. Well, that's pretty much none of it, isn't it? And I think that I'm pretty sure they're just making that kind of concession because they assume there must be some kind of physical reality out there when there actually really isn't. So we're not seeing reality. Number one, we are not seeing what's going on out there, because I know people who, when they are manifesting, they literally are seeing the particles, the subatomic particles, the quantum particles come together, starting to form their reality. So when we are imagining it, it is coming together. It is happening. That's why ask and it is given. It's just that because we're not seeing it, we give up on it. And when we give up on it, it's just like, you might as well just be taking it, eraser to a chalkboard and being like, nope, never mind. And, it literally falls apart and stops coming into manifestation. The second neat thing we need to remember and understand is that, of course, this is a mirror. But a lot of times we don't quite understand how that really kind of works, We don't really think about it much. So our mind knows this world, right? It knows the 3D world. It doesn't know the world where our manifestation is coming from. And our manifestation is coming from somewhere else other than obviously 3D, right? So in the mirror here, the mind is like telling us, well, raise your left hand. And you're like, yeah, done. And it's like, no, we're looking in the mirror. So of course, on the other side, it appears that it is your right hand. And your mind's like, no, your left hand. You're like, I am. Well, do it harder. I am, Well, force it. I am. It is my left hand, because we're listening to the mind. And then the mind's finally basically kind of concludes eventually like, well, you must be an idiot. You must not be doing it right. And then we start to get all these feelings of lack of self-worth because why? How come other people are getting it? How come they're successful and I'm not, right? It's because the mind is working from that principle where it's trying to take things literally. But if we're in a mirror, then obviously it's not coming from out there, because it's the same thing like people say, you're trying to get the mirror to smile, you're trying to change the mirror, but it's not coming from there, it's coming from here, which is why we have number 3. Number 3 is that our imagination is more real than 3D. Well, obviously 3D isn't too real if we can't even perceive it. We can't even see, less than 0.1% of it. So our imagination doesn't reside here in 3D. Our imagination resides in the 4th dimension and above. So it is actually more real, more connected than we are here. So when we are imagining the manifestation that we want and we are living in that manifestation, well, we're occupying that space where what we want, it's there. It's there. It's not here. We're like, yeah, I don't expect it to be here because where is it coming from? It's coming from in here. It's coming from within us, within our imagination. This is why They have the saying, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Your manifestation is not coming from out there. It is coming from in here. So when we're constantly looking for signs, well, they haven't texted me yet. Well, she hasn't called me yet. Well, I haven't gotten that raise yet. Well, I haven't won the lottery yet. It's not coming from out there. So we have to stop looking for things out there because we're the one it's coming from. So this is exactly like a birthing process. We are working with the Creator, co-creating this. We're saying what it is that we want by we're living there, we're living within us. And it's just like having a baby because it starts with you. It starts within you and you know it, you feel it. Like, oh, I'm sitting there, I can feel what that feels like. Just like having a baby within you, you can feel it, it's there, right? But instead of like down there in our womb, it's coming from here, where we are all creators from here with our imagination. This is how we birth things into this world. But of course, there's a gestation period. And sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's longer. With different people, it's different. So it depends on with you when you feel it's done, right? With Neville Goddard, he just would be like, he would go into his imagination and he knew when he felt that big emotional thing, whether it was excitement, completion, or relief, he knew he had gotten the message through. You'd made the imprint, right? So you can kind of think of it like we're here, we're in the play, we're on stage, and we're trying to get the message, to backstage that we want a scene change. We want a new scenery here. We don't want this crummy old house we're living in. We want a mansion, right? So we're sending the image because, of course, the universe is telepathic. That's why we're sending the message from within. We're living there. We're sending it long enough for it to get through. And so if it's a telepathic thing, you can think of it that way. Then if we want to think of it like this, like backstage is there going, okay, all right, you guys, we did a mansion. It's going to be white. Okay. And it's got there's a round driveway. It's a circular driveway. And, because they're seeing it light up on the screen, right? They're seeing the message that you're sending them. And it's like, all right, then it's got this huge kitchen. It's going to be light blue. And there's a big swimming pool out back and it's rectangular. Yeah, big rectangular. It's going to be this size. So, and then everyone is like going and getting the little pieces of it, right? And then we're like, where did it go? Well, we gave up. You might as well just be erasing it off the chalkboard, or we put something else there, or we say, never mind, it's not happening. I give up on it. And it's like, well, if we didn't send enough of a signal, how can it get there? So it's either making an impression because it's an emotional thing, which creates this like a stamp with an impression, or we're living in it long enough where we're going to birth it from us. It's literally going to come in to this reality from within us, not show up from out there. So when does it happen? It doesn't happen in the future because there is no future. Our manifestation, what we want, isn't in the future out there. It's going to show up, and when it does, it's going to be here and now. So we're kind of retraining ourselves to understand how this whole process works and remembering that, we're not seeing reality at all. And just like a birth, something that you are giving life to, you don't give up on it, do you? You don't be like, never mind, it's not going to happen, forget it, because it's your baby. It is yours, and it's your right to have that creation because you are the creator. So you don't give up on it in that sense that that it's happening. You know that it's happening. You know that it's done because it's coming from within you. It's being birthed from within into the without. And understanding these things is how we get everything. So I am your host, of course, Sky Cheyenne, and thank you once again for being with me here on Rebuild Reality. And thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, and your subscriptions. And I'm going to see you here next time. on Rebuild Reality.